It's Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building, and you know how we do the Cowboys football thing, man. But we jumped out to the outside element, and now we're dealing with the high school because before they became pros, they were high schoolers. And we've been having a slew of awesome interviews, and I got another one up, and I call them dogs because they are. And if you see this tape, which I'm going to show on my channel, you're going to be like, this kid a dog. And I got somebody from the state of Florida, man. His name is Brandon Cerna. How you doing, big dog?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. I'm glad that you were able to jump on the show. We're going to talk a little bit of football because obviously you are. I'm gonna keep it real. I think you're the truth. Watched a lot of tape. I love your aggressiveness. You played a linebacker position, so we're going to talk a little bit about that while we jump in. So, as I said before, you're coming from the state of Florida, right? Now, you've been playing the linebacker position, and now you kind of the who's who coming into your junior season, right? You had a very productive year as a sophomore, like 47 tackles, you had 6 sacks. So heading into your junior season, what do you look to really expand upon your game to kind of make you even a more complete player?
Hmm. Honestly, I feel like I could work a little more on my blitz techniques and expand my inventory with more tools to get around the line, such as working edge rushing and breaking through that center gap the most. I also have to work on air raid coverage. So whether it be like getting interceptions, playing press, hitting the flats hard, whatever they need me to do on defense.
Yeah, all right. So I like that because I saw one thing I noticed about you is that you are very instinctual. I saw when you seen on blitzes. I just feel like when I watched you, you automatically knew where the holes were, and I saw the instinctual play on the ability. So I was very excited about that to see that. So going into you play the outside linebacker. Do you consider yourself a weak side, a strong side, or a might backer? Are you flexible to play all these positions? Kind of how you feel about that?
Well, last year my team usually used me as outside, less
Mm-hmm.
middle. I played strong and weak, depending on the various situations that we had.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play middle that much, but
Okay.
if the team needs me to play middle, I could be there to adjust.
Now, do you feel like you're more of a weak side or a strong side? What it really suits your style of play? Where would you want to be if you could start every game? What position would you want to be at that linebacker spot?
Honestly, I'm leaning a little more towards the strong side.
Okay, and why is that?
To me, it's a little more fun. I like getting down and dirty. I like
Hmm.
hitting the gap, running back, being in the middle of all the chaos.
So you like that action.
Yes, sir.
You like all that work. I like that. Now, before we ask you any other questions, do you ever look at any other players out there who kind of inspires you as far as a football player? Who do you look at, maybe even college or the pros, to say, I want to pattern my game after him?
Honestly, growing up, I was a Ravens fan, and Ray Lewis kind of gave me the idea. He's just like, I saw this guy. I'm like, whoa, who's this? He's kind of cool. I like him. And then, it was like 6U, 7U. I went out there. I said, hey, coach, can I play where Ray Lewis plays? And he goes, why not? And then I just fell in love with it.
Hey, I love it because I've had another defensive player on here and I asked him and he said Ray Lewis as well. So, hey, Ray, you done impressed a lot of people. Even when you retired, even these young cats is still looking at you. So, but like I said, I've been really watching your tape, man. And instinctual, like I said, 6 sacks. You had a lot of tackles for loss. Man, you were really in that backfield, man. Is linebacker the position that you kind of want to stay at and kind of hone, or would you mess with the offensive side of the ball? Because we see a lot of high school players two-way ball. They play linebacker, they may play some tight end, they play defensive end, they play different positions. Are you kind of just sold up at linebacker and that's where you want to kind of make your mark and hone your craft?
Yeah, yeah. Because I feel like the more time I spend at linebacker, the more I get to perfect it.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, I'll catch all these small things. So rather than, going back and forth between reps, I
Mm-hmm.
can mainly focus on what I need to fix.
Right. So you can get better. Now, you're going
hmm
into a junior, man. You already got some good size. Let everybody know in the building what's your size at right now going into your junior season.
I'm about 6'2", 205.
Now, he's going into his junior season 205. So obviously you're going to put some more pounds on. Now, you said you went to attended some camps, okay?
Hmm.
And when you went to those camps, what did you really want the coaches to know about Brandon Cerna? What did you want to really work on at the camps? And what did you want to really let the coaches know when you left that camp what you're really about?
Hmm. Honestly, my biggest strong suits were footwork, bag drills, and getting off blocks, and
Mhm.
especially one-on-ones. Coverage is a big key, especially with the high school environment that we're in now. Air raid is the biggest threat.
Now, so are you in saying that? Obviously, you're in a hotbed. You're from are you from Florida or did you move or how? What's that situation?
Born and raised Florida, South
All
Florida.
right. So you born and raised in Florida. And like I said, Florida's a hotbed. When we talk about a lot of high school athletes, Texas, California, Florida always jumps out as like the first three teams because they send a lot of kids to the NFL. Tell me, why is Florida football so good in your opinion?
Probably because it's embedded in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a kid, I remember I was playing 6U, 7U, Pee Wee football, and all the parents out there, and you're all just really pushing to get the best out of your child.
Mm-hmm.
And the parents play football, and their parents play football, and they put it on them. So everybody just grew up and loved it, and it just became a thing of the community. And everybody here wants to get the D1 scholarship. Everybody
Right.
wants it. They want the best for their kid. But the thing about Florida is everybody here is willing to put in all the work,
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice everything
Mm-hmm.
to get that scholarship.
So it's a lot of competition out there. It's a real competitive environment, sounds like. So talk about just before we get ready to head off here, talk about a little bit about your school as a whole. What did you guys finish last year? And maybe what are some your own personal goals heading to your junior season? And what are maybe some team goals that you have for yourself?
So last year we were 2-8.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I ended up transferring to start Cardinal Gibbons because I figured, iron sharpens iron. And
Right,
to be the best, you have to play with the best.
right.
And I love Spanish River. I love the staff and everything, but I just needed to get to the next level.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I can't hate on that, but go ahead and finish. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
it's okay. And I also, it's a lot. Like the things I needed to really work on where probably I feel like I can get there faster. I can be a little more explosive.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a few interceptions
Mm-hmm.
by the season ending. I want to I want to just get better as a whole. I want to be like, all those plays that I could have made where like the QB overthrew it. I want to
Right,
jump faster. I want to
right.
jump higher, run faster,
Mm-hmm.
get there, be the best me I could be.
Now, you had like I said, you had like 47 tackles, you had 6 sacks last year. Now you transferred to a different school. Now, do you have any maybe some numbers in your own head headed to your junior season that you want to get tackle wise, maybe tackles for loss, interceptions you said, sacks, do you want to build upon that? Do you have any kind of that in your insights that maybe you wrote down?
Honestly, I feel like I just need to break those numbers. Every year
Mhm.
you set a bar and you just need to get that bar higher and higher.
All right,
So
definitely. Now, the team that you transferred to, what was their record last year, and what is one of the reasons why you went to that particular school?
they were state champions.
Oh, there it is.
Hmm. And I figured, to be the best, I got to work with the best, and I want to smoke
Right.
all of it.
Right. So how do you feel like, you were started when you had that sophomore season that was at your old school, correct?
Hmm.
So you coming in, you basically taking a chance, right? Because if they were state champions, you were the man over there. You coming in like you going to a big college, you might not be that guy. Did you feel that and understand that, or was what kind of went in your head before you kind of thought about I want to come to the school besides the state championship?
I knew it was going to be a risk, and I knew it was
Hmm.
going to be a little bit of a gamble, but I felt like I just had it in me. Like you can only really account for yourself, and I knew I
Hmm.
was willing to put in the work and do what I needed to.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. First of all, that's awesome because you don't see a lot of kids. They actually transfer from big schools to smaller schools because they want that shine. You're going from a small school to a state champion school saying, I want all the smoke. I'm going to take a chance because I believe in my ability and I know I can come and make an impact. That's pretty awesome. And now, before I'm going to have you get some shout outs, maybe some people who inspire you. But first of all, I want to give a big shout out to your mother and father, especially your
Yes.
father, because he's done an excellent job with you. Number one, I love how we talked before and he had everything set up. You have some awesome parents. So I just want to tell you that they've done a great job with you. And I really love how they really had everything set up for us to do this. And I just want to make sure I give them their shout outs, and they're doing a great job. But just before we kind of end, who kind of inspires Brendan to kind of get up in the morning, keep going hard when I'm tired? This person kind of maybe jumps in my head. Who kind of inspires you, or maybe who are maybe some mentors to you to say, man, when I talk to this person, they get me there?
Probably my grandfather.
Nice. Explain upon
Yeah.
that.
When I was a little kid, yeah, we used to go to the park. We used to play football, and he used to be like the guy who I was with all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to always tell me like, hard work is key, because somebody could have all the talent in the world and they won't use it, but somebody who isn't as good but works as hard as possible will shine the brightest.
Hey, I like your grandpa already. I bet y'all had great talks just sitting down, chilling. I bet you was just sitting down, just listening to him, soaking up all that knowledge. Because I remember when I used to be around my grandpa, he talk, I listen.
Yeah.
I ain't never say nothing else. So besides that, do you want to give out any shout outs to maybe some people who train you, any people that, kind of do anything like that? You want to give any shout outs to anybody else?
Of course, of course. I like to shout out my head coach, Coach Dubuck. I like to shout out JKB Fitness. I train with them every weekend practically when I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to shout out Barwis in Deerfield Beach.
Nice. So in this class that you're in, the new school that you're in, is this like the highest level of football? Because I know in different states they have like 6A or B or C, they have the different divisions. The school that you're going to, what class is that in? Is it like one of the best top competitions out there?
We're a 4A school, so we're
Mhm.
pretty small, but
Okay.
we still take on some heavy competitors.
All right. So you're the type of team that you might be small, but we go out there and get that smoke. We go out there and meet teams. It doesn't matter who you are. We're going to play you and we're going to strap it up, and whatever happens, happens. Am I getting that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, name some camps that you attended already, and maybe some camps that you be heading out to.
So I already just attended FAU Mega Camp, Willie Targets. I'm looking forward to maybe UCF, University of Miami, and a few other on the way.
Now, are you the type that, because you're homegrown, you're a Florida born and raised, are you the type that I love Florida so much I want to stay in the state of Florida as far as schools, or are you willing to travel and go out of state and go somewhere else?
Honestly, I'm open to anything. Like, I'm willing to stay, but I'm also willing to leave. It all just depends on what road I take.
Okay. Now, what would you really be looking for in a school? What would stand out to you to make you really want to say, I really like this school, academic or athletic wise?
Academic wise, I would really like for them to have my major and probably in business. That's a big key for me. And I'd like to have also a strong football program to match up with it.
Okay. Now let's talk about these grades right quick before we head off here. I always talk to every student athlete about, if they don't know their GPA, I get it. But if you do know your GPA, we want to let everybody know and say, hey, this kid is grinding. You said business. Now, what type of business would you want to do? Let's say outside of football. What would be your profession outside of football?
Outside of football, I probably own a business on my own, be self-employed.
So you that guy,
that.
you like making your own moves. You like running. Like. I like you. He said, if I don't want them to do it, I can just do it myself. So let me just have my own thing. I like that. This kid, this young man going place. You better check this out. We're gonna drop your tape and let everybody know about your tape. But like I told everybody, Brendan, this isn't going to be our only interview. All the other young men that I've already interviewed, we're doing the beginning of the season. We'll do a mid-season interview, and then we're going to do after the season. So kind of the things that you probably talked about in the very beginning, we're going to kind of chart it. So that's going to me, be kind of awesome. And then the fans will be able to actually chart and see what you're really about, because that's what we're really about, getting exposure for you and letting the world know who you are. Because you already had the great article write up and said top rising junior. I know the schools are excited to see what you are going to do. And I'm excited because you took a leap of faith. And I really want to see what you're going to do by taking that leap of faith and saying, ooh, he left this school and he came over this school and still treacherous. You know what I'm saying? So I really like that. So any last words, any last shout outs to anybody before you get off of here, man? Show anybody love. Just go ham right now before you get off here.
Probably just one more shout out to my mom, my dad, my grandma, and my grandfather.
All right. Hey, we really love that great closeness circle. So we're going to post this. We're going to post this tomorrow. So make sure y'all jump in there. This is going to be live. We got another great interview, and this is going to be more to come. So make sure you check out the tape. We'll be posting your highlights on my page. So make sure you check out the tape, because I'm telling you, once you see what we talking about this linebacker position, y'all going to be like, oh, wait, you was right, big game. He nice, dog. You wasn't lying. I said I wasn't lying, Brendan. I said he nice. And they're going to be like, man, you right, big game. He the truth. So we can't wait to see that. So for Big Game James, Brandon Cerna, Generation Next, we'll be talking to you soon. We out. Peace.